The alarm screams violently at 5:30 a.m., instantly sending my heart into overdrive. I force myself out of bed while my wife stays fast asleep, completely dreading the massive journey ahead. I splash freezing cold water onto my face, desperately trying to shock my brain out of its zombie state. There's zero time to ease into the day. The clock is officially ticking.
I slip out into the chilly, pitch-black morning, carrying my life in a backpack and coffee in a travel mug. Looking back at my quiet Middletown home, a part of me desperately wants to turn right. The dark departure begins in earnest as I watch my quiet town disappear behind me. My eyes are already heavy and bloodshot, but all I can do is tell myself to just keep moving forward. I click my seatbelt and start the engine, letting the headlights cut through the heavy rural darkness. Right now, it's just me and the completely empty country roads of Middletown.
Hitting Route 270 south, the last peaceful streetlights of Frederick quickly vanish in my rearview mirror. It feels like I'm crossing a point of no return into the daily grind. The highway widens as I roll past the Germantown sign, and the quiet country fields are instantly replaced by sprawling office parks. The concrete jungle is waking up, and my anxiety is rising right along with it. And just like that, the sun rises over Gaithersburg, and everything grinds to a devastating bumper-to-bumper crawl. Staring into a brutal sea of brake lights, the morning stress completely takes over.
Miles and miles left to go, completely surrounded by absolute darkness on the interstate. Staring down the long highway, I can't help but ask myself, why did I take this job? The landscape morphs into a giant, intimidating maze of overpasses and urban junctions. Leaving Middletown behind, I hit the Grand Capital Divide, where the interstate splits violently between Washington and Virginia. Massive steel signs loom overhead, casting long shadows across my windshield as I commit to the belly of the beast. Exhausted and overwhelmed, I have to pull off at a park-and-ride junction because the car is running on fumes. Standing outside the door, I realize I am already running dangerously late. Standing under the buzzing lights of the gas pump, I feel completely drained of energy before the workday even begins. It's just another pre-dawn fill-up.
Approaching the massive split, I make a split-second decision. I steer onto I-95 South, telling myself that DC is the fastest way to get through this mess and eventually make it back home. As the city skyline looms closer under the crescent moon, I try to reassure myself that choosing the highway was the right call. But deep down, the driving anxiety is already creeping in. Big mistake. I take exit 295 toward the parkway and immediately slam into a brutal bumper-to-bumper nightmare. Staring at the sea of gridlocked cars, panic sets in. I am going to be so incredibly late for work.
By some miracle, I cross the threshold of the Washington, D.C. office building right at 8 a.m. I put on a brave face, clutch my bag, and try to celebrate the small victory of just arriving in one piece. But the reality of the commute hits me the second I sit down. Waze predicted an 8:05 arrival, meaning I'm already mentally behind. Sweating through my clothes, my mind spins out. Did I leave the stove on? Where did I even park the car? I reach for my mug, only to find my morning coffee has gone completely ice cold. Staring at a mounting pile of deadline paperwork, the bleak reality of the corporate grind takes over.
Looking up at the wall calendar, I see 30 years of my life crossed out in rigid little black boxes. There's no time to breathe before the supervisor starts shouting across the room that the reports still aren't done. Then comes the dreaded hallway confrontation. It's a silent, tense lecture with an aggressive finger pointed right at my face. I just stand there, completely exhausted, silently questioning every life choice that brought me here.
Fast forward to 8:35 p.m. The office is empty, and the day is finally, mercifully over. I drag my heavy feet out of the cubicle, still stressed about the parking garage and completely drained of life. At 8:42 p.m., I finally turn my back on the office. Middletown is so far away, and the brutal nighttime commute is just beginning. I fire up the GPS, turn off the traffic alerts, and prepare for the long, dark road home.
By 8:45 p.m., I'm leaning against my car in the pitch-black parking lot, utterly broken. Standing outside the urban office building, I stare off into the night, mentally preparing myself for the massive journey back to Middletown. It's 8:55 p.m. by the time I finally roll past the welcome sign. Gripping the steering wheel with pure exhaustion, I tell myself over and over that the office is behind me, there are no more reports, and Middletown is finally close.